Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our monthly employment data release call. I'm Emily Oglesby, the Director of Communications and External Affairs at the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity. I'm going to provide a few housekeeping items, directions, information to help with the flow of the call. Everyone should remain muted throughout the entire conversation. So everyone, please look at the top of your screen and make sure your microphone is muted and turned off. We also ask that you turn your cameras off and make sure they remain off so you can see Adrian and I on the screen throughout the entire presentation. You should hear and see us at all times. So please make sure your video is off and your microphones remain muted. We will be taking questions from credentialed media throughout the presentation. Feel free to type those in the chat feature. If you look at the top of your screen, there's a chat icon. You can click on that and type your questions as we go through the presentation. You must submit them through the Teams chat in order for us to answer them, and we will get to as many of them as we can. If we don't get to your question today, please feel free to email our team at media@deo.myflorida.com, and we will work with you to get you an answer as quickly as possible. So today's presentation is focused on employment data for August 2021. Questions regarding reemployment assistance will not be addressed on this call and should be sent to media@deo.myflorida.com. I'll also provide that email address in the chat feature so that you all have it as well. So feel free to send your questions as we progress through the presentation, and I'm going to turn the call over to Adrian Johnston, DEO's Chief Economist.
Hi, good morning. At 10 a.m. this morning, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity released the August 2021 labor statistics for the state of Florida and its sub-state areas. This included metropolitan areas, counties, and large cities. These data were produced by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics through a federal state cooperative agreement with DEO. Data were collected through a combination of employer and household surveys, administrative records, and statistical modeling techniques. So I'm going to begin this morning by walking you through the details of the August 2021 data release, starting with the household survey. Okay. So as a reminder, the current population survey is used to estimate Florida's unemployment rate, total labor force, and labor force participation rate under the local area unemployment statistics program. Since these statistics are based on a survey of households, they capture information about individuals, not jobs, and they are calculated by place of residence, not place of work. Florida's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate in August 2021 was 5.0%. This was lower than the national rate of 5.2%. Florida's August 2021 unemployment rate was a 0.1 percentage point decrease from the July 2021 rate and down 2.9 percentage points from the August 2020 rate. In August 2021, Hendry County had the highest unemployment rate with 7.4%, followed by Miami-Dade County with 6.7%, and Highlands County and Putnam County with 6.5% each. Monroe County had the state's lowest unemployment rate with 3.0%, followed by St. Johns County with 3.4%, and Okaloosa County with 3.7%. This unemployment rate represents 529,000 jobless individuals out of a labor force of 10,543,000. Florida's August 2021 labor force increased 65,000 or 0.6% from 1 month ago, and increased 552,000 or 5.5% from the August 2020 level. Unemployment ticked down by 1,000 last month, while employment grew by 64,000 individuals. In August 2021, Florida's labor force continued to grow after surpassing the pre-pandemic labor force level. Florida's labor force has grown for 10 consecutive months, adding 532,000 people since October 2020. It is important to keep in mind that the labor force is composed currently employed workers as well as unemployed people who are actively seeking work. Many of those in the unemployed category were entering the labor force seeking employment. When the labor force increases, it is often a signal that people are optimistic about employment opportunities and are choosing to enter the job market. People can be categorized as unemployed for different reasons. A person may be unemployed because they lost their job. They may have quit their job voluntarily. They may be re-entering the job market, or they could be entering the job market for the first time and have not yet found employment. Over the past 6 months, the number of job leavers, shown here in this graphic in gray, has increased for 5 consecutive months, indicating that individuals are more optimistic about their ability to find work if they leave their current position. Both new entrants, shown in green, and re-entrants to the labor force, shown here in blue, are increasing, indicating that individuals who were previously not looking for work are more confident that jobs are available for them. These groups represent individuals who were previously not in the labor force, and their continued growth is an indicator of a strengthening statewide labor supply. Job creation data in Florida is derived from the Current Employment Statistics, or CES survey, conducted by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. The CES survey collects data from up to 20,000 Florida businesses and establishments each month to measure jobs by industry across the state. Since these statistics are based on a survey of employers, they measure counts of jobs, not individuals, and they capture characteristics of employers such as industry and place of work. Total non-agricultural employment rose to 8,777,200 jobs in August 2021. This was up 15,500 jobs, or 0.2% from July 2021. This figure is up 377,700 jobs from a year ago, which is an over-the-year increase of 4.5%. Florida's private sector non-agricultural employment was 7,685,900 jobs in August 2021, which is up 19,400 jobs, or 0.3% from July 2021. Total private employment was up 380,300 jobs from August 2020. This is an over-the-year increase of 5.2%. 6 of the 10 major industry sectors in Florida gained jobs over the month. 9 of the 10 major industries gained jobs over the year. Financial activities gained 8,900 jobs over the month, or 1.5%, followed by professional and business services at 7,900 jobs, or 0.6%, and education and health services at 6,100 jobs, or 0.5%. The financial activities industry has gained 17,900 jobs since the industry's pre-pandemic peak of 603,900 jobs in February 2020. Between February and April of 2020, Florida lost 1.2 million jobs statewide. As of August 2021, Florida has recovered 974,300 jobs, or 76.8%. Some sectors are recovering more quickly than others. The professional and business services sector added 7,900 jobs in August, joining financial services and surpassing its previous peak employment. Other large sectors, including trade, transportation, and utilities, other services, and education and health services, have recovered more than 80% of the jobs that were lost. The August 2021 seasonally adjusted local area data showed that 16 of the 24 metro areas in Florida had over-the-month job gains. The Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford MSA grew at the fastest rate of 0.8%, as well as gained the most jobs with 9,200. Other metro areas with notable job growth were Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater with 7,200 jobs, West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Delray Beach with 4,200 jobs, and Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, Deerfield Beach with 2,700 jobs. Common measure of labor demand is online job advertisements. Although this is an incomplete picture of total labor demand, these data provide a real-time look at how many and which types of jobs employers are trying to fill. Job advertisements remained elevated above historical levels as Florida employers listed 520,326 ads in August of 2021. Jobs in the healthcare, retail, and food services sectors were the most commonly advertised occupations over the past month. And that concludes my remarks this morning. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, we'll open the call for questions. Please type your questions in the chat feature and we'll get to them as quickly as possible. So Jake Stofan asked, what accounts for the drop in hospitality jobs?
So that's a great question. I think there's a few things that we should note as we look at these statistics. One is that there's still a lot of churn and friction in the labor market. So while we're adding new people to the labor market. Those people are finding more jobs, as we saw with the unemployment rate declining. There's still going to be a little bit of tension between the jobs being advertised and people finding those jobs. So that could certainly be part of the story. So we'll know a little bit more once we have a few more months of data to analyze the trends on that.
So Dave with Florida Today asks, can you discuss the improvements in the tourism and hospitality sector and how it is affecting the labor market and the overall economy?
Sure. So I think, as I just mentioned, we continue to see people encouraged to come back into the labor market, encouraged to participate, and even more importantly, as that's happening, people are finding jobs. So we actually saw employment, individuals who are employed, increased over the month. So as we have more people coming in and more people gaining employment, that's a very positive sign.
So Jake asks another question. The U.S. added 235,000 jobs in total last month. What is the number we should look to in order to glean how many of those jobs were added in Florida?
So for that number, you're going to want to compare to the total non-agricultural employment that were added in Florida over the month.
Bob asked, the Orlando region counties like Osceola and Orange had been among the highest unemployment and now are doing much better. What factors are behind that?
So as we continue to see people comfortable and engaging in economic activity, we see increases in tourism and business travel. We are seeing that impact felt in the central part of the state. So again, people are connecting to jobs. They're entering the labor market more and more, and they're actually finding successful employment.
Okay. Last call for questions. The U.S. as a whole far underperformed projections in August. How would you rate Florida's job gains in August about what's expected?
So I think what we saw is continued job gains in the private sector, which is what we were expecting, and that's what we were hoping to see. What more importantly, as we saw more jobs added to payrolls, which is that total non-agricultural employment statistic that you're referencing, we also see people joining the labor market. And so we've had several months of continued growth in both payroll employment and in labor force growth, and people are gaining employment over the month as well. So all of that put together, I think this is a very positive data release for the month of August.
In the Laos, Jacksonville MSA showed fewer jobs and fewer people unemployed compared to a month earlier. Is this a one-off survey error, etc.?
It's a great question. I think we can dig into that a little bit more. You make a really good point that we shouldn't put too much stock into one over the month change. So we would want to see if there are trends happening over several months, and then we can glean more from that. But our team would be happy to dig into that and see if they can give you any more information.
Steve, feel free to send us a question to media@deo.myflorida.com, and we can help get you a more specific answer for that. So Jake asks, is there any notable Delta impact on employment yet?
So great question. I think we don't have anything that directly ties the statistics to contributing factors, but it's possible that that was a contributing factor in some of the specific sector declines that we saw. But overall, it's really hard to tease that out, and we would expect to see multiple months of trend if that were a lasting impact. So we'll know a little bit more in the next few months ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining the call today. We look forward to seeing you on next month's economic data release call. It is scheduled for Friday, October 22nd, and we will follow the same process, send out a media advisory. You guys should RSVP and join us then. Again, if you have any additional questions, feel free to email us at media@deo.myflorida.com. There will also be a recorded video of this that we will provide at the bottom of the statewide press release when we send that out. So thank you all. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next month.